Section 7.2. We're going to take a look at multiplying polynomial expressions. All right, to multiply polynomial expressions, we need to begin by multiplying monomials. How do I multiply x to the fourth times x cubed? Well, here's what happens. X to the fourth means this, x times x times x times x, and then I multiply by x cubed, that's x times x times x. Notice what I have. Altogether I have 7x's, that's x to the 7th. All right, one more quick example like that. X squared times x to the 6th means x times x. And then x to the 6th means 6 of them. So what do I have? Altogether I have 8 x's. So I hope you see the rule there. The rule is when I multiply a couple x's things together, what happens to the powers? They get added. 4 plus 3 is 7. 2 plus 6 is 8. Okay, so let's say I had 3x to the third. I wanted to multiply by 5x to the 7th. Well, I really don't want to write all those x's down. The good news is I don't have to. I multiply the numbers out front. 3 times 5 is 15. And then I multiply my x's. I'm going to have 3 x's and then 7 x's. So altogether I have 10 x's. So that's 15x to the 10. Now, how do I take a monomial, like 3x squared, and multiply by a polynomial? 3x squared times 4x cubed. I use a distributive property. Okay, so I'm just going to write this down, although I wouldn't necessarily expect you to do this much writing each time. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. We would distribute, so we would take 3x squared and multiply it by 2x to the 5th, plus 3x squared and multiply it by 4x cubed. So that would be 6x to the 7, I add my powers there, plus 3 times 4 is 12, x to the, add my powers there, I get 5. Okay, now that middle step that I put in there, I would consider that optional. Let's say I gave you 8x to the 4th, and I wanted to multiply by 2x to the 6th minus 9x to the 5th plus 2x cubed. I would hope you could pretty much do this in your head. 8 times 2 is 16, and then I add my power, so I get x to the 10, minus 8 times 9 is 72, add my powers, x to the 9, plus 8 times 2 is 16 again, x to the 7. So I would hope when I give you a couple a monomial times a polynomial, you could do it like that in one step. Now the only thing to watch out for is a minus sign. Negative 2a to the 5th times 3a squared minus 6a plus 7. Make sure when you distribute that minus sign through everything too. So I have minus 2 times 3, that's going to be minus 6. Add my powers, a to the 7. Minus 2 times minus 6 is a plus 12, a to the 6th. And then a minus 2 times a 7 is a minus 14, a to the 5th. There's no other a's there, so it just stays a to the 5th. Okay, so watch out for those minus signs. Make sure you distribute those through. All right. The other thing we do in this section is we multiply, say, a binomial times a binomial or a binomial times a trinomial. It's not much harder. I take 3x plus 6 3x plus 6 times 2x minus 4. Sorry for the kind of delay there. My pen ran out of ink all of a sudden and I had to put a new ink cartridge in. Kind of goof things up. All right, well, there's really not much difference. You do the distributive property. You start with the 3x and you distribute it to both of the pieces here. So 3x times 2x, 3 times 2 is 6, and then x and x gives an x squared. 3x times the minus 4 is a minus 12x. And then you take the 6 and you distribute it through. 6 times 2 is plus 12x. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. We end up with 6x squared minus 24. Now, I'm pretty confident you've probably seen that before, somewhere along the line. A lot of people call that FOIL. That's fine if you remember it as FOIL. Works for me. All right, one more, perhaps. 2x minus 3 times x squared minus 4x plus 5. So this time I have a binomial and I'm multiplying by a trinomial. Binomial again means 2 pieces. Trinomial means 3 pieces. Again, really nothing changes. I take the 2x and I distribute it. I can't really call it FOIL anymore because I got too many pieces, but you get the idea. 2x times x is 2x cubed minus 2x times 4x is 8x squared, and 2x times 5 is 10x. And then I take the minus 3, and again, be careful of your minus sign here. That's what people are going to screw up. And I distribute that through. Minus 3 times x squared is minus 3x squared. Minus 3 times minus 4x is plus 12x. And then minus 3 times 5 is 15, minus 15. And then all I got to do is combine up my like terms. I've got 2x cubed. I've got a minus 8x squared and a minus 3x squared. That's minus 11x squared. I got 10x and a 12x. That's 22x minus 15. All right, so this should be among your favorite sections of the whole semester so far, because I think it's among the easiest ones we've done.